Well, this law that actually didn't pass the Michigan Senate, and it wasn't signed into law by the governor yet. But it has actually passed through one section of the body. It was actually through the Republicans in the Michigan State House. Passed a license to discriminate bill that would give just about anybody the right to refuse service to the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender people if it conflicted with their religious beliefs. So, what's going on here is actually this law pretty much could be taken to even more extremes than that. Actually, if you got a divorce and they conflicted with your religious beliefs, that means you didn't have to help that person or whatever, or I don't know, issue them a license for a driver's license. I don't know. It could be anything, man. This really can go pretty far. But it actually hasn't become the law of the land in Michigan. It probably would be struck down as unconstitutional eventually anyway. But it kind of highlights how extreme some things can go. They can go one way or the other. Now, my opinion on the government is like they pretty much don't interfere with anything. Like, in other words, they don't stop religion. They don't prohibit religion just because there's a government school. They can't tell you, like, you can't have prayer. I'm not going to go that way. And then on the other side, they shouldn't be forcing religion on people either, one way or the other. You know, that's pretty much the way it's written in the First Amendment. You know, you don't force it on people, and you don't prohibit the free exercise thereof of religion. So, in a way, they're forcing religion on people by saying that if you have a medical emergency, that the medical emergency responders could say, I don't want to treat this person because they belong to the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender people community or something. So it was called a broadly written Religious Freedom Act. I'm laughing about this, but damn, it's freaking, like, I just couldn't believe this because I thought things are going pretty liberal in this country, you know. It seems like in the United States and also in Western Europe, things are getting more and more liberal, and actually more liberal than I wanted to be. In other words, well, actually, my personal belief on liberal actually is it's a good word. It's not a bad word, but you got to take it in the true connotation of what it means. It's like people should be allowed to do whatever they want as long as they're not infringing on other people's rights or inflicting harm on other people. That's basically how it goes. You know, that's really what the word liberal should mean. And it should mean, it actually should be a good word. It's just kind of taken, you know, it's gotten twisted over the years. But actually, I think everybody is kind of a liberal in a way. Well, not everybody. But anyway, you know, you have people like, this is Marcus Bachmann. He's the husband of Michelle Bachmann. He's one of the guys that takes the gays and he trying to reforms them and stuff. And, you know, and I tell you the truth, a lot of these people that are extremely anti-gay, I think they have something in them where they have a fear. And in the case of like this Marcus guy, I think he's actually was a gay, and he's like, he was gay, or maybe he's still gay, but he's still married, and he's transforming gays because I don't know what the deal is anyway, but it's almost like, you know, you got people that are like, homosexuals are possessed by demons, you know? Well, actually, a lot of people are possessed by demons, I can tell you that right now, including the ultra-religious. So, but, you know, and the other thing is, you know, even with the way things are with the hetero world, like these are actually 4 heterosexual guys, I would actually figure, because what happened is, and today, when you get married, the heterosexual guys get put in the kitchen, they wear a pink apron, and the wife freaking tells them what to do. So that's why you don't get married today, you know? But it don't mean you be gay, you know? That's the other thing. Well, you know, do what you want, but that's what I tell you one thing. It's like half the married guys, at least half the freaking married guys today, that's pretty what happens with them. They're totally, you know, degendered to the max. So, you know, they might be anti-gay, but you know what? Once they get hooked up, they're done. And this guy, Vladimir Putin, I got to tell you the other deal with this guy. Even though, you know, he supposedly has all these laws against gays, and he seems to make legislation against gays in Russia. This is the guy back in 2005 that lifted up like a 5-year-old kid's shirt and kissed him on the belly and goes, I had to kiss him because he was like a little cute kitten. And he did this out in the middle of public impromptu. So I also have a suspicion about Putin that even though he might not be gay, he's something's weird with his affliction to little kids, So, it could be something strange going on with all the freaking people that worry about this stuff too much, whether they are Marcus Bachmann or whatever the hell it is, or Vladimir Putin, because, you shouldn't worry about it. That's the way I look at it, I mean, some people, let me put it this way. I think the gay people exaggerate how many gay people there are in the freaking world, like as a percentage. But then there's always been some gay people in the world, even if it's, I don't know what the percentage is. So sometimes they say it's 10%, 20%. Some people saying it's 1% or 0.5% or something. But it's just, there's always been some. So what the hell, man? It's just how it is, I mean, it's not like you're telling people what to do. But anyway, it said the act, if it was passed, was so broad that it would let a Catholic high school refuse to hire a Muslim janitor and a DMV clerk deny a new driver's license to somebody who was divorced. I was like, yeah, man, I mean, really, come on. He goes, if, the thing is, this act is not passed, but it was, it's like, I can't believe they freaking even got this part, through the lower house, through the assembly, though. It says, if it passes in the Michigan Senate and is signed by Governor Rick Snyder, Republican, the Religious Freedom Act, Restoration Act will become law, if that happens. But it's not going to, I doubt it's going to happen. But, it's almost like you got extremes of all kinds, and it's like, I was kind of surprised it's actually passed, but, the one assembly. But that's an extremist, going the other way. So, anyway. And then you got the other thing where they got confusion. You have the male, the female, and the combination thereof, which is like almost like quantum mechanics. You have, with quantum mechanic computers, you have the ones and the zeros, and you can have the one and the zero at the same time. So it's almost like quantum sexuality. I don't know what that is. So thing is, it's like, let me put it to this way. If actually, probably what happens, though, and where there's probably not as many gays and bisexuals around throughout history as the general heterosexual population, is that, the common sense reason is they don't have kids, right? Unless they adopt them or they have them by a surrogate or something. So, that's one reason it's not going to be that popular, because you need a male and a female to make a child, so there's not going to be as many gays and lesbians out there for that reason. So, unless we go to cloning or something, I don't know. But the thing is, like, it's almost like I really don't give a damn about it, to tell you the truth. I don't give a damn. I mean, I look at the extremists on both sides as the best word for them is extremists. Homosexuals are possessed by demons. Well, religious people are possessed by demons too, I think they're all possessed by demons, maybe, I mean, come on, This guy Marcus, I think, is like, I saw some video clips on him on YouTube, and I said, man, this guy is pretty gay himself. He's like supposed to be like healing all the gays and stuff, or being make them turn back to Jesus, and I'm like, whatever, man. I think, I don't know, I think this guy was gay himself, so. And I think Vladimir Putin is somebody that likes little boys. So, sometimes these people are the most critical of the gay community. There's something with them too. Like if you're thinking like they're all like, really, oh yeah, you got to be this way or that way, I think it's the people that worry about this shit the most. They're the ones that are probably the most, there's something, there's something hidden with them too. It could be. I don't know. Maybe not. But it's almost like I really don't give a damn, I really don't give a damn. But the one thing that got me was like I was surprised the law actually passed the lower assembly. And I was thinking, wow, that's pretty wild, because it's a pretty extreme law. The law actually will state that you can refuse emergency medical treatment to people because they're gay or lesbian or transgendered or something, and you can refuse to refill their HIV medication because God decreed gays and lesbians to be put to death. You know, I mean, they could judge you, and then it can also go because, like, and say, well, if you cheated on your wife or your husband and say you were, male or female, heterosexual, you also were, you committed a sin, so we can refuse to emergency treat you now because you committed a sin in the eyes of the Lord. It almost goes right back to the witch hunts, And if somebody accuses somebody of something, man, this law can really get freaking really out of hand because you can see it's already starting. But that goes to show you how some people think. And, that's not the spirit of our nation. The spirit of our nation is also not that everybody's supposed to be, the norm is going to have to be the lesbian, gay, transgender, bisexual community. That's the other extreme. The other extreme is like everybody has to be one of those four. And, there's most people are heterosexual. And, the obvious reason is if people aren't heterosexual, you don't have a bigger population because you need a male and a female to reproduce under normal circumstances unless you get really highly technical, So, I mean, but the thing is, gays and lesbians and transgenders and bisexuals will always be a minority. So, the thing is, the Constitution protects everybody as an individual. So, you shouldn't be, like, grouping together like, I got to get all together as the gay, lesbian present, rights and stuff. And, hey, man, it's individual rights, If it decides, whatever the hell it is, individual rights. And I think the one thing that's getting repressed today is the males, man. These could be, I don't even know if these are gay guys or these are repressed heterosexual guys that got married to these domineering freaking wives that freaking put them in a kitchen and says, you're cooking today because we got repressed for the last so many centuries, and they went along with it. Me, I'd be smacking her over the head with a freaking pot, and I'd be saying, yeah, well, guess what? I'll show you repression from the female, knocking the male in the head, and you want to play role reverser, I'll smack you on the head with the rolling pin and a pot, and you see how you like it. You know what I mean? And give me all your money after you freaking come back from your job. So I could do that stuff too. And as far as Vladimir Putin being homophobic, I don't know. I think this guy's a pedophile. I think he is. Because he's a little too homophobic. And, I can't imagine. Why the hell would you lift up a little kid's shirt? I know they did this years ago in public. And kiss him on the belly and say, I thought he was like a little kitten. He's not a kitten. He's a kid. He's a kid. You know what I mean? You don't do that to somebody's kid. You do that to a kitten, maybe. You'd probably scratch you in the freaking head when you did it. But the thing is, you don't do that to a kid. And I thought that was pretty freaky. And it was kind of revealing about Vladimir Putin. So, all these people that are so freaked out about, all this community, whether you're a male or female or halfway in between, or you're all three, or you're one of those quantum sexuals where you have the I and O mixed together or something. Well, if you're worried about it too much, you probably got a problem too, because actually it's individual rights, and the individual, even if you think it's harmful what this other person does and that whatever their lifestyle is, you could be saying it's almost like the abolitionist movement, maybe it's true it's bad to be drinking, right? And you could say, well, we want to legislate morality, we want to stop people from drinking. But that doesn't stop people from drinking. It just makes criminals out of people that drink. We can legislate that people can't smoke cigarettes, and, we could be like Bloomberg of New York City, and we could legislate that you can't have a 32-ounce soda because it's got too much sugar in it. But it's like ridiculous, man. If people do stupid, I'm not saying that even a lesbian, gay, transsexual, bisexual community is doing stupid things. Say they are or they aren't. But say it's your opinion they're not doing the right thing, that's the best thing for them or whatever, right? But you can extend that to everything in the world. And it's like people, it's their individual choice and their individual right to do what the hell they want as long as they don't inflict, harm on others or infringe other people's rights. That's up to them. And that actually is the definition of a true liberal. And a true liberal, actually, liberal is a good word in that way. It's when you start getting together as a group and you say, hey, you're violating my group rights, Hey, we're all individuals, man. You know what I mean? I mean, it could be freaking, having a group rights of like people over 80 years old. They can have the group rights of people under 5 years old. You're going to have the group rights of people that are, under, 5'2". I don't know, whatever. I mean, come on, What the hell? I mean, it's shit. It's like everybody's going to be different one way or the other. So, and nobody's perfect. What did Jesus say? Let the first one without sin cast the first stone. Because usually the ones casting the stones, like, I don't know, Marcus doesn't cast too many stones, I guess. But I think this guy's, I don't know, man. Maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe he is casting stones because you got to convert all the gays over the streets or something, Like, what the hell is he worried about that shit for? But you got Vladimir Putin casting some stones here and there, Got, he clobbered Pussy Riot and stuff, and he kisses kids on the stomach. So, whatever. And if these guys got put in the kitchen by their wives, they need to cast some stones back at them and get them out there fixing a car, mowing the lawn, putting a new roof on a house, tell them they want a new kitchen, and you better pay for it, and I want all the best freaking upgrades, and we'll play that game all the way, Ha 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 ha. Anyway, over and out. So I just figured to put this out here. Now these probably are gay guys. I'm just kind of talking like they're the straight guys that got whipped, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of problem with that stuff. Anyway, I just want to point out though that he actually almost passed this law, and it's pretty amazing. It's it could be passed. It's possible, but it's not passed as law yet. But it's pretty amazing it got that far. Anyway, over now.